Yep, absolutely.
So it's hours that could be put into better use.
That's what it's all about anyway. This whole thing that we're talking about, the self-help yourself, it's about ridding the moments of stagnation, like cutting them out of your life, then, even out of your diet with, taking out crap that you're eating or whatnot.
Poison drips, the video we watched yesterday.
Like we're acknowledging what's causing, or we're acknowledging what makes us happy, and then trying to eliminate the stuff that actually.
Well, there was.
We wrote down.
Yeah. We watched a video. It was RSD Tyler, a guy on YouTube, and he talks about how there's many things in your life that are poison drips. Basically, they take more from you than they give you, and you might not even notice them because they seem like good things. So we tried to identify 5 of them. One of mine was FIFA. It's fun, but it takes many hours of my time and actually aggravates me, gives me negative emotions a lot of the time, and it puts me into old thought patterns. So maybe FIFA is a poison drip for me, like something that's taking more than it's giving. And there's a lot of things like that. Like I thought maybe marijuana, maybe you can look at certain relationships in your life. Is there any friendships that are taking more from you than they're giving you? You know what I mean? And that's what we were talking about. And why did I even start talking about this in the first place? Oh yeah.
You wrote that as one of your things.
Yes, the job is taking more from me than it's giving me, probably. Even though it's giving me funding right now.
Want to go over what your 5 poison drips were?
Sure, if you want.
The first one is food. I feel like it has dramatic control over how I act. We've actually implemented something to actually immediately start doing something about this. We said, usually my diet was, for the last year, I've lost 80 pounds just doing dieting through the week and eating bad on the weekend. And that's awesome. Great. I feel awesome. It feels awesome. But the problem is that on Monday morning, I always feel like shit because I'm like, well, I don't work out on the weekend and I eat bad all weekend. But why do I feel all achy and everything on Monday morning? For until Tuesday or until Wednesday, until we feel like professional athletes.
And you know why.
Exactly.
And you got to stop lying to yourself is what it is.
Exactly. And so now that we kind of are recognizing that more, instead of feeling bad for the first days of the week, maybe we can eliminate that by only going out on Friday night and having the cheat meal on Friday night, skip all day Saturday, binge all day, not binge all day, but just don't act like an ass on Saturday like I always do, and then go hard on Sunday and have your cheat day kind of Sunday and Friday night. So that's eliminating the whole weekend of just treating yourself like such garbage, because Saturday kind of equals it out, and you kind of. It's not multiple.
So the other thing we're doing here too is we're trying to eliminate that's the whole thing. We're trying to eliminate patterns. And what you did to yourself was good. It made you lose 80 pounds. It got you from out of shape to in shape.
Yeah.
But now you need to go to the next level.
Yeah.
And you need to go to the next level. So you can't, when you're binging 3 days in a row, you already said it yourself. So now you're just trying to cut one of those days.
Yeah.
You want to binge 2 days, but give yourself a 1 day break. And then in a few months, that's not going to work anymore. You just need to keep evolving.
Yeah.
So I've got one thing to interject there. So you talk about going from one level, fat ass slob Steve, losing 80 pounds by implementing this diet of, eating really healthy and being active during the week, and then binging on the weekend, and now you want to go to that next level. So what's the motivation to go to that next level? So
how good I'm feeling now? How easily good I'm feeling right now? How better I can feel?
You did say...
Sky's the limit.
So you were saying
Ohio
that
State,
there's there was the Ohio State, of course, is a big factor in this.
They haven't got none.
But you said
we're going bowl, baby.
Do it for mama.
Do it for mama.
That Monday you feel like shit, and then you slowly, you get back into it, and you start feeling better. Yeah, but is the 3 days, assuming it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, of binging? Are they worth it? Is the enjoyment that you're getting out of those days worth it?
They really used to be.
That's why he's switching over to the 2 days, because he knows it's not worth it.
Yeah, so you're throwing away 3 days, and then you're actually throwing away 4 days because of Monday,
Tuesday.
So now you're only going to do 2. And then you're basically assuming that you're going to throw.
Not even 2, just Friday night.
What we're talking about is
it's not even it's not even how much I'm eating.
What we're talking about is the point of diminishing returns. Yeah. So I want bad food right now, right? If I take a bite of pizza, I'm going to get maximum enjoyment from that 1 bite of pizza. If I take 2 bites, maybe it's the same. 3 bites, maybe a little bit less enjoyment. If you have a full pizza, you're not enjoying it anymore. And that's what Steve does to himself. And I stopped doing it. I do it a little bit, but I don't do it as much as you. You just fucking you try to go out and he tries to buy as many calories as possible and then just fit them all inside of his body. He weighs he weighs 145 on Friday, 165 on Saturday. What the fuck? Yes, I saw that. He weighed 20 pounds more.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And it's not fun anymore, dude. You eat 3,000 calories, the next 3,000 aren't good anymore.
Yeah.
You're trying. It's self-sabotage, is what it is actually at this point.
And I feel so good now, so I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So that's great, and I do think that that's important to treat yourself well, and then you will feel well, mentally and physically. But what about those days that you do cheat, and are you going to throw away an opportunity to cheat just because it's not part of your routine? So let's say Wednesday comes up, something fun.
Saturday, dude. Dave Attell is coming Saturday. You haven't given me an answer. Go to Dave Attell. Fuck yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
Nice.
We're also going to sushi before that, so that's what we were going to bring up. Anytime there's a really good reason, like sushi is an excellent reason.
Even if it's against your weekly routine.
Sure. That's why you save it up. The better you are, the better it's going to feel when you actually do have those opportunities.
Don't worry that if Wednesday comes up and Wednesday something happens and you go for it, that maybe you'll think Thursday you're like, is it okay?
I recalibrate. You just gotta recalibrate.
You just recalibrate.
Dude,
right away.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have the idea that jerking off is bad anymore. I'm gonna enjoy my jerk off sessions. Seriously though. Because I don't want to get negative. When I'm eating my meal, I'm there to enjoy the meal. If I'm just doing it for the calories, then stop eating it. Stop.
Well, actually, I think that's a good transition point because the food was your first one. My first one was porn. And I disagree with you. Porn takes more from me than it gives me. It's cool sometimes. No.
Cool.
Let me just I'll just say it really quickly. It's good sometimes. It's enjoyable. Obviously, it's fun as fuck. But that's the problem. It's too fun. It's too stimulating. And there's nothing else in life that is that stimulating. So when I jerk off, I take my time. I'm a man who takes his time.
I can vouch for it. I heard him last night.
Really?
So if I jerk off for 45 minutes, I get so much dopamine, so much, I think dopamine is the right one. Yeah, and it's so fucking good that the rest of my day is pale in comparison, and it's fucking bullshit. And I've been trying to stop porn for years, and I'm working on it.
It's a hard drug to shake.
It's so fucking hard. It's a real drug. Yeah, it's dopamine. It's addiction.
It is you're getting the satisfaction that you get out of the end of one of those sessions and during the beginning. That's what people want. They want specific things, internally. You're I don't know, what you need
Sexually
as a person
desired.
is you need food, and you need to procreate. That's the whole point of it. If you can get that without actually doing
So
that.
I have the opposite.
There's nothing better.
Because right now I'm not going ridiculous with it. I'm not watching porn every single night.
Yeah.
So it didn't make my list. I understand where Kyle's coming from because there's been periods in my life where I love porn and I watch so much porn.
Right.
Now, porn is so almost non-existent.
Well, let me just make a distinction. The definition of addiction, as I've heard it, is when you're doing a behavior even though you would rather not do the behavior. So that's what it is. For me, it's an addiction. For you, it's still a regular behavior. So it's the same as anything else. If you're addicted to video games, you're not having fun anymore. When I'm watching porn, it's like, I fucking son of a bitch. But when you're watching it, it's like, oh, this is fun.
I decided to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Instead of
so good for you.
I hated that.
So good for you.
But I also don't do it as much. So if I fall back into it, it's hard to enjoy it. I would never enjoy it again.
Yeah.
If I did it 3 times,
I did it 4 times. I jerked off 4 times on Saturday. Did not feel good Sunday or Saturday. So fuck it. Why am I doing that to myself? Yeah. It's the same as a crack addict.
They just do it because
spending all day Saturday.
They just need it.
Yeah.
But they don't need it.
Yep.
So you want to go to your next one? What's your next one?
It's your turn actually. And if you think of one for yourself, pop in.
I have previous wives and girlfriends. I just need to kind of step back sometimes and remember that, I did, I am choosing to take care of myself right now, and I need to make myself a priority and not dwell on the past or dwell on previous relationships. So that's kind of a poison drip of mine that I sometimes fall into patterns of letting previous relationships kind of control my emotions for the day. And, sometimes...
How often does that happen?
Not very often, but sometimes I'll get sucked into a conversation with one of them and, kind of brings my mood down and stuff and, kind of just... And we acknowledge it, and even they acknowledge it too, and we step back from it, and we're learning from it, and we're setting our own boundaries. I just started talking to Amanda Snaki again, and
Really?
Yeah, and so we're kind of adjusting what feels good to speak about and how much to speak and kind of what to talk about and stuff, and I do need to recognize when it does go sour, and I need to be able to step away from it. And we stepped away from it for the last, I think since my birthday or something like that. And we've been cool. It's not on my mind or anything. It's okay. And so I'll probably start talking again, and
So what about that one, number 2? what makes you want to go back or keep
Nothing.
going back?
I just don't like harvesting negative feelings inside myself. I don't want to think of Sanaki.
Well, okay, so.
But what's the difference between that and just not doing anything, just being complacent and just not acting on it at all? You know
I'm still
what I'm
holding
saying?
negative feelings.
It's sources of validation for him. He's getting validation from them still, so he's reaching back into the past. That's actually what you did in Denver.
Yeah.
You said, I'm not happy right now, let me reach back into the past, and that worked out for you. But, so here's what I see from my point of view. Sometimes I see Steve, and he has gotten better actually, much better, much better. I would see Steve on the couch for hours at a time just looking at his phone like a zombie. Not really reacting in the present, but he's in his head, just reliving, whatever with one of them. And that's not cool. Yeah, it
doesn't help.
So here's the theory I've been working with lately, and it's not my theory, but everything is either taking you closer to the present moment or farther away. So if you're meditating, podcasting, one of those positive events, running, you're taking yourself closer to the present moment. When you're in your phone, like, to be honest, you're not really interacting. That's taking you farther away from the present moment.
And most of the time they're texts and there's just stupid conversations.
Yeah.
We're not even solving anything. So it's just like, let's just end it now. Let's both recognize that we're not going to make any progress here. And let's end it. And I just need to.
We got to stop that.
Yeah, I think that you just need to keep an eye on how much power I still give to them.
So that's an interesting segue too, because yours were the past relationships, and you're talking about that taking you away from the present moment because you're thinking about the past, and one of mine was future relationships.
Yeah.
So, new energy, and this is something I wanted to talk about anyway. I think too many people get complacent with the social circle they have, and then you're only around the same energy that you're always around. Whereas if you start meeting new people, in whatever capacity that is, you're bringing new energy, and that's always important. So right now, me and Steve are meeting a lot of new people, and a lot of my time is going towards thinking about like, oh, this podcast guest or this new person, and mine is new people. Like, you gotta allocate time towards new people, new relationships, but I spend way too much time in my head thinking about that stuff. So old, new, that was mine.
Do you think that that's a negative thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that negatively impacting your day-to-day life?
Do
you think that you're making any progress when you're, talking or rather thinking about, making relationships with new people? Because you're developing ideas to
all right, let me be more specific.
Podcast.
So if I'm talking about a new girl, someone I just met, a podcast guest is different. Well, actually not really. If I'm thinking about a new podcast guest and I'm just laying in bed thinking like, oh, what am I going to say to him? That's being away from the present moment. That's thinking in the future, and it's not progress. If I'm writing notes, what about this podcast guest? That's production. That's not a problem. But if I'm just ruminating, what I'm talking about is the rumination, and especially with girls too. If you're fixated on like new girls you're talking to, I'll go deep into obsessions. Like, oh fuck, what am I texting?
Yeah.
Like,
so ruminating without any real action.
Yes, yeah. Again, so he's going from the present moment into the past. I'm going from the present moment into the future, and both poison drips, in our opinions.
My next one is an overactive mind. So kind of taking busy weeks and using them as or busy times and using them as well, I'm doing this instead. I just need to make sure that I'm allocating enough time for myself. So pretty much that's it. And I have a very overactive mind that I need to meditate a little bit more and kind of calm down. And
that's a good segue.
Put a little bit more time and effort into this.
That's an excellent segue.
Such a positive influence on my everyday actions when I do it. So we've been doing it still, we go to the pool every day and stuff, but it's still not a massive priority as it once was. So just need to get back into my routines that I was doing a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of meditation, a few weeks ago we said $20 if Steve and I don't get up at 10, $20 if you don't meditate every day for 20 minutes. How'd you do?
Did it.
Bullshit.
Every day. Yep. When I wake up, and then if I don't do it when I wake up, I do it sometime.
Do you believe him?
When I go home.
Do I believe him? Oh no, I don't believe him. I don't believe him.
You've never kept a fucking strict. Are you kidding me?
Well, either way, I'm getting my $20. So.
You didn't do it.
No. Missed a bunch of them.
Shocked.
Missed a bunch of them.
Did you guys wake up early today?
No.
Or was that why you called me around noon saying that you're gonna work out later?
So this is going towards the Self-Help Yourself Fund, whatever that means. Is that Vegas or I don't know? I mean, whatever it is.
Yeah, it could be anything.
You could have a bachelor party too. Oh, you got to talk about that shit too.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Now the entire audience of KyleCast and Self Help Yourself knows that my money is somewhere in the store.
In
the vicinity.
Fitting flag over.
Yeah, so that's $20 towards whatever the fund is.
So I do have to say, with the whole meditation thing, I don't know if I'm getting as much out of it as.
Did you put in 20 minutes every single
Describe
day?
what you do. Describe.
Yeah.
So you said you do it when you wake up. So what does that look like?
Honestly, most of the time, it's just in the shower.
20 minutes in the shower?
I spend most of my time in the morning. I wake up an hour before I go to work.
I
spend most of my time in the shower.
You spend 20 minutes in the
20
shower?
minutes in the
There's no
shower.
way. That's a fucking long time.
You put it up every day?
Well, no, I do. I do.
You're not meditating. Okay.
Hands.
What are you talking about?
Let me criticize you a little bit in order to criticize Dave. You can't call something meditation when it's not meditation. I was letting people off the hook. Oh, you play music, that's your meditation. Oh, you run, no, it's not. It's not fucking meditation. Okay. You gotta fucking meditate.
But, no, hold on. I'm not saying that taking a shower.
The least enlightened person yelling.
I'm not saying taking a shower is meditation. That's ridiculous. I'm saying meditating while you're in the shower is very different.
I don't think that's what you're doing.
You have water. No, I know what you're insinuating. Obviously.
Put your goddamn $20 on the table.
I am not doing it because I earnestly made an attempt and I did it. I also just don't think maybe the setting could be different, but I don't think I get as much out of meditation as all y'all do. But it's also
listen to what you just said, though. You listen to what you said. There's a way to meditate, and you didn't do it. You just made up.
You just said that there's a way to meditate, and I didn't do it.
And
I'm saying that there's a way to meditate that I did, and I still don't think I got anything.
What did you do? Describe what you did.
You stop and you stand in one spot. When I'm in the shower, I'm having water run over me, and I just breathe in and out. That's it. That's all I do.
And you did that for 20 minutes every day for the last few weeks.
Yep. Not always in the shower. There were some days when I was running late. I woke up late, and I did that, when I got home on my couch or whatever.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to be harsh on you. It's just, it's very impressive. No. Let me say something. Let me say something. Yes. No, it's not only you. It's a very difficult thing to do. Most people would not be able to do that.
And that's why I did it for 2 weeks.
And the fact that you're saying you did it and you didn't like it is very odd to me. That's very odd. I think you would feel a little something after 3 weeks of 20-minute practice a day.
It's nice, but I really don't see what I'm getting out of it. It's just like your rumination thing. Like you're doing something that you can kind of put under the guise of being a developmentally positive thing. I don't think that I was doing
turned
something.
Off.
I didn't think it was very.
Oh man, is the batteries dead then? Must be.
Yeah, it's blinking on and off.
The fuck? Really though?
Yeah. I just never.
Are you actually thinking about your breath, or are you just getting lost? You might be just getting lost in your head.
Yeah, people, it's hard to keep concentration. That's why meditation is kind of like a difficult thing. And I feel like I do a good job of it, but I don't know. I'm not a fan. It's just certain things work for certain people. And I'll wait till this is.
Yeah, I feel like Steve should be talking anyway, because he's more recently, experienced with it.
With meditation?
Yeah, because I mean,
there's 100% success rate of people that went.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
It's crazy that you didn't experience anything from it.
Yeah, because he was actually in a study, and every single person benefited.
I think also part of it
scientific.
Is the well, yeah. When I'm doing it, I feel good.
It's like you running every day for 3 weeks and being like, "Well, I didn't get any better at all," and you're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I think it's not about. Okay, so the getting better with meditation is very difficult because the getting better thing is just about feeling good, right? That's the point.
Kind of.
Clearing your mind, feeling good, feeling more
Yeah.
at ease with your own internal, whatever it is, but. That's constantly disrupted every day when you're just, I do it, then I go to work, or I do it, and then I have to fucking.
But that's the thing is that's the thing. The meditation helps you to slow down, and then the more you do it, if you do it every day, you begin to slow down a little bit more. Yeah, and I was going to ask Steve. Steve said his teacher said that she was meditating the wrong way for 10 years or something like that. I don't know if that has a parallel.
But what's the
you sit there and you're thinking. You sit there and you're thinking, and you tell yourself you're meditating, but you're not really meditating.
Because
you're supposed to be disciplined. Okay, so I do it too. I meditate every day, and sometimes I'll think about my podcast for 10 minutes, and then I go, dude, you're not meditating. And then I'll go, okay, return to the breath. And then every time you think, you're supposed to be able to recognize it and return to the breath. Now, of course, that's hard. That's why we meditate.
Yeah.
But when you find yourself not meditating, you have to meditate. And when you put yourself in the shower, or I'm sorry, Steve, when you lay down, you're giving yourself an excuse not to meditate. You're putting yourself in a disadvantageous position to meditate.
Why is laying down? Do you fall?
Because he falls asleep. Yeah, you fell asleep.
I did not fall asleep.
You fell asleep yesterday. You fell asleep yesterday for 10 minutes at least.
Dude, I never
yes, you
fall
did.
asleep. I can't fall asleep that fast.
I guarantee you. I heard you snoring.
No, I don't snore, dude. I just breathe louder.
I'm just saying.
What are you talking about?
Just a loud breather.
Dude, I don't fall asleep. I can guarantee it.
Okay.
100%.
Either way, do you agree that laying down is probably not advantageous?
No, I don't actually. I lay down in class for the whole period. I lay down in class every single day.
I don't think it's necessarily.
I don't
know. I didn't receive any positive effects from meditation.
I'm not saying you didn't. I'm saying you might have received more positive effects if you did it a different way.
I don't know what posture really has to do with it. You know, I guess it could.
I'm just going to say it one more time. You fell asleep. You fall asleep pretty much a lot of the time.
No. I can't fall asleep that quickly, dude.
Okay, so I'm proposing, after failures all around, whether they're actual tangible failures or the progress of, not having progress, aiming at progress with
It's funny that you're thinking about that while you're meditating though, huh?
I heard you snoring and I go, oh, he's asleep.
Snoring, though.
All right, dude, whatever.
It's really funny that you're in your head thinking about that though.
If you hear somebody snoring.
I'm snoring.
All right, let's not attack each other. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just saying something I observed.
It's pretty confidently you're saying that though, and I have done it for so long that I know that I'm not falling asleep.
I've never observed you 100%. I've always thought maybe he's laying down, maybe he's sleeping, but yesterday I heard you snoring, so I said he's asleep right now, and you were asleep. You don't think you were asleep, but you were asleep.
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay, so after this session, this 2-week session of just doing something and trying to own up to it, what's the next 2 weeks, or what's the next thing going into?
For self-help yourself or for meditation? Or
going into the next.
Well, what do you want to work on? What's your thing?
So what I want to work on is something that I was working on for most of the day today. I want to start writing more. Just to have that creative outlet. I've stopped doing comedy. It could be that too, but I've stopped doing comedy more just for lack of inspiration or whatever. I don't feel like I have my heart in everything all the time, but I think writing a certain amount a day I think is a good idea, which is exactly what I did today. I wrote about 3 pages.
Then I think we have something we can implement then, because we want to do a book / kind of
reading.
Yeah.
We wanted to read every day for half an hour at least, or an hour, or something like that. Yeah.
We could do a self-help yourself book club.
Yeah.
I'd be very interested in that.
But then you're talking about all reading the same book, right?
Yeah, that would be it.
That's probably not what you want to do, right?
I don't know if I can read as much as you guys.
I'm sorry.
I'll try it for the period of time. We'll read a book. Yeah, let's read a book. I'll read my first book.
So actually, this is what I was going to say to you too. I think it's very important to see, because you can put your energy in other places and you think, or just a lot of places, and you think this might help me. But what you really need is a focus, a thing that you really. So writing. Does writing really mean something to you, or do you just think it might mean something to you? Because if you just think, then you're not going to really benefit from it.
I feel like I get all the benefits that I would imagine I would get out of a positive activity. I feel interested and really into what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I'm thinking about it at other times as well, ideas to write. And then after I'm done, I feel good about it. So what more do you want?
What I'm saying is, Stephen Pressfield, who wrote The War of Art, also wrote a book called Turning.
I still have that.
He's called. Oh, do you really?
Good.
I've been looking for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. He also wrote a book called Turning Pro, and that is what I'm trying to do. It's called Turning Pro. So going from maybe I'll write today, which I know you're doing right now. You're saying I'm gonna write every day, but it's basically making a commitment and saying I want something from this. It's enough of this wishy-washy bullshit where it's I want to meditate every day because it might make me feel better, and it's no, I believe you have to have faith. You say I'm putting my faith in this thing and I'm gonna do it consistently. And if you pick a different thing every 2 weeks, or
it's not gonna work.
Exactly. So I think this whole time, Self-Help Yourself, we've been trying to ask you, what do you want to accomplish? And you said the cheese test. You said comedy.
Which I'm still doing that.
I want you to pick something. For me, I'm asking you, pick something and fucking do something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me right now, the cheese thing I will be doing that. That has a finite duration though. It's got until August. The beginning of August it's done. So I have no more work to do at it. But I am doing that regularly.
Well, what does that look like? What's
I have a conference call that I do at work every Thursday. So I have one tomorrow for an hour, and then I do some studying outside of work. There's no standards to the studying. It's just like whatever I can, research, make flashcards, whatever. And then I'd probably between now and August, I'll go somewhere else. I don't know where I'm going, but it's going to be another study sort of thing. It's going to be either Wisconsin, Vermont, or California. I do that, and then late July, early August, I do the test, and then
okay. So
I got it.
Let me ask you this then: is this test just? Some things in our lives are actual challenges, and some of them are just on autopilot. You're just going to pass this test. You have it on a certain date.
I know people that failed.
Really?
People that I think know a thing or two.
So this actually takes a real effort from you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's fair for me then. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I think it's good. As long as it's like something that you really want to care about, it's just not a time filler, or like I had a bunch of stuff in Fidelity where I was just like, oh, get the certification just to get the certification so I can have another tool to the belt. And it's just like, it's cool to do it, but if there's no passion behind it, you're kind of just doing it because you're doing it.
That's what I'm talking about. Is it just...
I want to see, dude, every single time we talk about it, I haven't seen like a drive of like, I don't even know if our viewers know what the cheese thing is.
That's true.
I
barely know what it is, actually. It's like a certification.
Right? That's all I kind of know.
All it is
I want to see passion from...
Does it actually change your life? What's going to change your life? Like what do you want to do?
Are you fucking happy with it? Dude, I'm fucking like jump
I'm going to be very happy.
I passed the fucking ENT exam. I was like, fuck yeah, I passed that goddamn exam. Dude, it was fucking hard. I failed it the first time. Like months and months, like a year of my life sucked away into it. Like, is it a hard test like that? Or is this going to be like, I passed it, let's go to Applebee's? Like,
No,
like,
it's a hard test, and like I said before to Kyle, I know people that I thought knew a thing or two, and I thought that they were dedicated and smart people. And
how much is it going to mean to you to have the certification?
It's going to mean a lot to succeed. It will mean a lot to succeed. Whether or not it pays in dividends afterwards, I don't know. I really don't know.
For yourself, how proud are you?
For myself, it's going to be an accomplishment. It's just like okay, so
how much effort does it actually require a day? Like, what is this really what you need to do?
Finishing a marathon or finishing a 5K?
Yeah. Is this pretty easy?
I think it seems easier now, but it's less pressing now because there's a time frame. There is some time where this is going to end, and I'm not close to that. So yes, procrastination does play a factor into it. But it doesn't make me any less driven. I am driven to do this, and I do feel like I will be very. I'll be proud of myself if I do this.
Good then. That's awesome then. That's what I want to see. Is like I want you to fucking express how this is you're putting effort into this. Well, don't put something into something that you're not passionate about.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I will definitely put effort into it. I am putting effort into it, and
good.
I'm excited for it.
I wish you the best of luck in your cheese endeavors.
Thanks.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So I think everything that I'm trying to do...
Let me just play with them.
No, dude, it's a knife. Stab me.
It comes down to wanting to feel higher consciousness in my brain. What I want to ask you is, do you know what I mean by that?
Somewhat.
I would frame it this way. If I eat a pizza on Friday, I don't meditate on Friday, I don't go to jiu-jitsu on Friday, I watch a ton of porn on Friday. Saturday, I wake up with a lower level of consciousness. And what I mean by that is I'm not even able to make the right decisions. My thoughts are useless. I hate myself. I'm a piece of shit. So you're not even capable of doing something. Everything that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to go on a run of positive action that will activate a positive upward spiral to where I can make better decisions every day. And that's a higher consciousness. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, that makes sense now.
Do you see those actions and triggers in yourself? Like, when I frame it that way, what I'm trying to really do is go on a positive spiral like that. And so the things that I'm trying to do are all geared towards that. So
they all influence each other. Every action kind of is built upon the greater good of what you're trying to do here. Like trying to
the more I go to jiu-jitsu, the better I am at my podcast. Yeah. The more I meditate, the better I am at jiu-jitsu. They all positively reinforce each other. And it's like, as long as you can latch onto a few of those and go for it, you go for the ride.
And it allows you to be more present in the things that you're doing.
So that's what I'm trying to ask you. It's like, yes, the Chief certification is a positive goal, and that would be a great thing to accomplish. But I don't know if it's achieving this elevation of state of consciousness.
It's affecting, and it will affect a very. It's not small. It's work. I spend 40 hours every week doing it. It will affect that section of my life a lot, and positively.
But only that section.
But only that section. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm just thinking of it in a too narrow-minded way. Maybe if I do succeed in this and I do develop good habits to succeed in this,
maybe you just said you're completing it just for work then.
No. I am completing it just for work. But what I'm saying is,
dude,
just like you, does I don't know. I'm trying to think of a better example. Does one thing that you do positively, that you feel positive about, always affect something else?
Yeah, and that's what I was getting to. It's like the podcast now kind of anchors everything. Because now, if I miss meditation or whatever, it's like, okay, well, that was one of my tools. But if I fuck up with the podcast, it's like, that's real. And if I'm working towards the podcast, I can kind of forgive myself in other areas because that's the one overarching thing. And for Steve, maybe that's Griff Glass right now. But the idea is, if I'm just wishy-washy going in all these directions, I don't have an anchor. But if I got an anchor, which is the podcast, so I want an anchor for you. I want fucking write a book, man. Write a book or make a sketch or whatever you're doing. I want an anchor.
So kind of following the same idea and logic that you've got. This CCP exam thing is essentially my meditation. You fortunately you've formed kind of a web of progress that you want to touch on all these points, but they connect. For me, that one thing doesn't necessarily connect with everything. I do think, though, it can positively affect other things. If I do well in that and positively in that, it can affect, me going to write. Maybe like having a really good day at work, having a good conference call where I learn a lot of things and improve in that sort of way. And I'm done with work. Then I clock out. I'm done with work, and I go home. Maybe that's the extra motivation I need to go to the gym and work out. And then that's the extra.
Does that happen often enough to? Is work driving your everyday?
These things definitely positively affect.
But is work driving you in all of this?
Well, I just realized something else too.
Is work the driving point? No.
We're talking about Dave's life, but Dave's life isn't Dave's life anymore. Because you're talking about this, but the other thing too is like we haven't even brought it up. You're probably in tons of different places mentally. Like why would I wouldn't even blame you. Why are you even thinking about the certification? You're thinking about Australia and your engagement.
Yeah.
Right? So what the fuck is your life? Why don't you explain to us what are you doing, man? Why are you going to Australia? I don't even know why you're going to Australia, honestly. So that's just I put that there because it's recording both of us.
Oh, is this still recording?
Yeah.
Fiddling with it. So the Australia thing is just another experience that I can have. I don't know if it's going to be a super positive experience. It could be the worst experience ever. I don't know, but it's a door that I see in my sights. It's in the future, and I want to open it.
Well,
I want to see what it has.
I'm actually asking you, like, what
so it's a very cool program that is open to any American citizen under the age. There are a couple of restrictions. You have to be under the age, I think, of 31 or 32. So there is a time period on this. You have to do it before then, or at least your visa has to be granted to you before your 31st or 32nd birthday. So that's one restriction. Another restriction is, I guess if you have a child, you can't take your child. So you basically, if you have a kid, you're fucked. You can't do this. But other than that, it's a work visa program where you apply for the visa, you're granted it, and you are allowed to go to this country, Australia, and work in order to offset your cost of travel. So it's basically just picking up my life and putting it in Australia, seeing how that feels, with no real determination to keep it there, because I know that there's a point where you have to leave the country. You can only do it for a certain amount of time. I'm expecting to do it for around a year. It might be less. But yeah, I just want to be in a new place
with your fiance.
Yes. Yeah, with Diana. I want to be in a new place with her. I want to experience a new place that I've never experienced before for a while and take this opportunity and
What's
just
the
have that.
length of period? Like, what is it?
It's a year.
A year.
Yeah, cool.
So you can
Probably.
do less than a year. You can also do more than a year. You have to be working with specific jobs in specific fields like construction, I think like agriculture or something
Yeah,
like
I don't know,
that.
man. I think this is really cool because I mean, that's something I wanted to do, and that takes balls to do that. So I think it's really good. But I would still, I think, so if I were you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have different brains, whatever. But what I'm thinking is I want to feel as good as possible before Australia. So I would be thinking, athletically or meditation, just trying to, again, the consciousness thing. So what I'm saying is I'm letting you off the hook a little bit. You got a lot of shit coming up because I mean, we think about Australia a little bit.
God damn, that's sharp.
But-
A knife connected to a knife. All right.
But yeah, I don't ever really stop and think like Dave's going to be gone in Australia for a year. When is
maybe I don't know. We don't know. So our plan is, if nothing changes, we're going to legally get married here before the end of the year. Just go to a courthouse or whatever and just get that done.
Can we get fucked up for that?
We're going to take you to Vegas too.
Yeah.
That's probably what that's for.
Yeah, that's definitely what that's for.
$40.
It's already partially way there.
That would be
That actually
awesome.
is a decent percentage of it.
That's a decent percentage. Yeah.
Check flights to Vegas about $100.
That's
like
fucking sick.
$98.
You don't have to get back. You only have to get
So
there.
No, it's round trip. It's round trip.
Wow.
Sick.
Why don't
is
you
the-
just buy it?
I'm going. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just need to confirm that.
Fuck yeah.
I got a dog sitter. So
Nice,
I've
dude.
been contacting a bunch of people.
Cool.
Really.
Yeah.
Good.
So this is a little. I'm going to step aside from where we're talking a little bit.
So I just have to go, yeah, Vegas. Yeah, Vegas.
Fuck yeah.
429 to 56. Probably some weird podcast from Vegas.
Big Mike, congratulations.
Some random whores, probably.
Oh yeah, Big Mike's getting married.
Getting married.
Oh,
Go to Vegas,
man.
man. It's only $100.
Dude, I'm gonna be in Rhode Island at that time.
No, it's cool though. Go to just $100.
Just a quick hop and a jump.
Yeah, hop, jump,
Quick
skip.
hop and jump. We'll talk about that later.
So what about ourselves? How's everybody doing?
I was doing miserable for most of that
Really?
because it was South by, and I treated my body terribly. I felt awful. We went out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then it was me drinking a lot and then going to work at 6 a.m. every morning.
Wow.
And that was, Saturday morning we didn't do that. Or I didn't go to work in the morning. But yeah, I felt really shitty all that week, and then I just started feeling good like yesterday.
Isn't that interesting? Like the funnest, most exciting time is also the time when
We all feel
You
the
feel
worst.
terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I've said this so many times. It's like, oh well, South by was fun, but I'm glad it's over. That's what you always say at the end of Vegas too. Well, it was fun, but I'm glad it's over, right?
Because you treat your body so poorly. Dude,
Yeah.
that's why everybody was super excited and then bummed about the fact that we saw the spa at the Links. Or at the Links.
last day.
The last day. We're like,
Right.
oh my God, that would have been so nice. Because that would have been an actual,
In Las Vegas.
nice, restful vacation where, you can have fun, but you can, treat your body.
And go back to the
Well,
room right there.
I think going forward too, as we get older, for me definitely, it's about stop lying to yourself. You're not having fun when you're treating your body that bad. Sure, you can have a vacation and have fun, but you don't have to go that hard every meal and every night.
No.
You know what I mean?
We did Vegas differently this last time. I think.
Yeah, we worked out several times,
Yeah.
and in previous
Felt pretty good, too.
We had 10
Meditated a
days
bunch.
without working out at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were eating bananas in the morning. We were taking care of ourselves.
I wrote a blog post
better.
about that on KyleFournier.com. It was on the cruise. It kind of mitigated that feeling bad by working out every single day. And I got hammered with my sister at night. We had a hell of a time. But every single day I worked out and meditated, and it makes it so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, I started, I have started to work out regularly, play basketball.
Yeah, you look at me. You're getting big. I like it. Yeah.
Thanks. But I feel good. I feel a lot better when
Steve thinks he's stronger than you.
Dude, I could.
Should we?
Dude, no knives.
Should we roll a little bit right
No
now?
knives, and I'll roll you out.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
You're not gonna roll me out.
I'm rolling. It's Ludacris said it in the song. No, but I feel good, and yeah, I think being active and just physically being active, treating your body well, It's great.
So you did that apart from South by, or you're saying you?
No, I started immediately after, and
Okay.
I felt way better for it.
So you're feeling better now.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. You had a rough 3 weeks or whatever, but you're feeling
way
better now.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens too when you have something coming up like a vacation or a South by Southwest week. You probably let your foot off the gas beforehand because you're like, well, South by's coming up, right?
Yeah.
That's natural. You do that.
Yeah, I absolutely did that.
Yeah. And that's, that affects the week before, the week after. And then that's what happens too. You get back from vacation, you go, okay, well, I need a couple days. I'll get back on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Nobody wants to go right back into it.
So that's why, that period always lasts longer on both ends than you want it to.
Yeah, it like bookends the entire thing.
Yep.
It's so much harder to get back into it.
And that's what I'm focusing on getting better at more than anything else, especially with vacations. And also South by Southwest too, because actually I really didn't go out that much. I was gonna say, well, I did a ton.
We were just busy.
I didn't do that much.
Oh.
You did more than I did.
Yeah, how did that? So
You were
that's a
selling
big
more.
part of Self-Help Yourself, your glass business, getting out there.
Yeah,
How
give it
did
to
you
him.
do?
Give it to him.
I did really well. I went out quite a bit. Tried to go out every few nights. Most nights I was trying to go. I think I went out Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then I worked a fair on Sunday. And
What was that fair?
It was the Austin Flea Market at Radio
Coffee and beer.
Coffee and Beer. Yeah,
that's a cool
Which is a really
place.
cool venue.
Yeah.
It was really slow because of South by Southwest, but I've heard that it's usually just super packed there.
Yeah.
So, cool. Good call, Kyle. And
How did the fair go? The flea.
the fair was the worst part of South by.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was just super slow.
Yeah, I made about maybe 180 off of the fair, but
Did you have to pay to get in there?
like 35. I split it
Oh,
with
that's
another
not
kid, and it was pretty cool hanging out with another glass blower.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
So it was Jonathan from Broadway Glass. Brought to you by Broadway.
So the rest of the South by week was solid.
Yeah, it was good. Oh yeah, going out every night. I would just park myself on 6th Street, about a block away from where they closed off, and just chilled out there. The foot traffic right in downtown, East 30 or West 30? West 30.
Yeah, we were right off Buffalo Billiards, one block off.
One block off of it. That's where they shut down the street. I was one block from there, and the foot traffic was just amazing, man. I parked myself right in a planter, so it's a planter that just had a bunch of weeds and stuff, and I just put my 2 gun cases up there and just sat next to it all day.
And he's kind of next to those other street guys. There's a
piano player.
Yeah,
there's people
guy.
paint street
It's almost like a makeshift fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It actually is.
And we're all we all watch each other's booths and stuff.
Yeah.
That dude, if we have to take a piss or whatever, we'll watch each other's shit. It's pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
Nice.
And,
so that worked out, but you did have a run-in with somebody.
Oh yeah, I had some people steal from me, but it's
When did that happen?
That happened I think Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's just a lot of people around, and it's almost like a good thing because there's a lot of people hanging out next to my case, and when people are hanging out next to the case, there's so much activity. People are buying things, throwing money here and there and stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess during one time, somebody had grabbed a pipe off of the end of. It happened twice actually. A pipe and a one-hitter, and so it's not really a big deal.
So
It's
nothing violent at all. Just
somebody, and then me actually catching somebody doing it too, and him realizing that he got caught and throwing it back into the case and being oh, there it is. After I called him out, dude, there was just a pipe there. What the fuck happened to it? And then I hear it go into his pocket, and then I turn around for a second and he throws it back into the case.
Yeah.
To make it look like he didn't take it. So there was some of those instances, which made me actually revise my setup, and now I've closed down my setup a little bit, so it's shrinkage. I brought it so that the cases are almost stacked on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
It actually looks way better too, and it prevents people from hanging out into the actual case. So what a lot of people were doing was hanging over like this, and then swiping and putting it,
Yeah.
And so that's hard to prevent. But now when you have it under control there, it's just learning, And it doesn't really matter when you're bringing in $400 a night.
I want to make a
It's just
point real
That's
quick.
awesome.
It goes back to what I was talking about. I think it was pre-podcast, but we were talking about how going forward in any endeavor is basically just making all the small mistakes along the path and remembering what they are.
The audio mistake.
So what he just did was he got robbed by having too many pieces, and now he adjusted.
Calibrated.
Yeah, calibrated. So it's the same thing with me. You just learn, I only have one of these for myself on the Boardwalk Cast. I need one for Steve too. So then you buy another
That way I
one.
don't know.
Yeah, or frame it differently. So that's what this whole thing is all about, just making all those small mistakes.
And
so that's
I don't know
what.
it until I go out there, and I had to go out there 5 nights or whatever to learn it.
Yeah.
And man, it was fun. And the best part about, I don't even care about the money. The money's awesome and everything, but the best part was how good I felt each night. Like I would cross over the bridge, either walking home with my cases on my back. It just felt good to be like pushing Griff Glass on my own. All this success and power that comes from Griff Glass is literally controlled by me, and as successful as I want to be, literally. And
it wouldn't be anything.
Saturday night, I literally said, it's the last night of South by South. I'm just gonna literally talk to every single person. And I talked to every single person, and you know, I was telling Kyle that like I thought I maybe brought in $200 and I brought in 380. And
here's what I would say too: don't downplay the social success factor either, because I bet if scenario A, one guy comes up to you and gives you $500, says, "Wow, that's an amazing piece. Here's $500," or scenario B, you make $300 but had the night you had.
Yeah.
What you're doing, what you're getting by each individual person coming up to you, and even the ones that don't buy stuff, they're saying, "I accept you. You are cool." And that is a huge hug. You just got a huge hug that entire Thursday night, basically.
So much love, dude.
That's pretty amazing.
Love, yeah. And you get that, you get the love, and then you get like just like the actual people that don't even care about your art, but they're just like, "Hey, good job coming out here and just doing something." You know, like fucking trying, like awesome.
Yeah.
Like it just fucking feels cool, man.
Because you learn more in one night of doing it than you did in 6 months of ruminating about it. You might have spent 6 months in your couch just being like, what if I sold glass? I bet I could do it this way. I bet 2 cases would be better. But then you actually do it and you learn way much more. Because you actually do it.
That feeling of like coming home and being like, with my big box of Voodoo Donuts. Just being like,
all the money spent on Voodoo Donuts. I can see that happening.
No, I hung out with the homeless kids. I always got them for free. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Those kids are great.
Makes no sense.
But seriously though, it felt, the donuts aside, it felt so fucking good.
Donuts aside.
It seriously felt so good, man. I felt those nights, and Saturday night was literally the biggest rush for me to be able to come home from the fair, work all night, stay up. I got home at like 4:30. I had a fair in 2 hours, and I just stayed up. Took care of some business, watched some stuff, and just was like excited about how awesome that night went and how I'm gonna work the fair right now. Not go to sleep and just push through it.
I was so impressed that day because I was feeling low energy. I went to bed early. That was the night of the Roots for you.
Oh yeah.
And I went to bed early. He went out, but I was fucking shocked because I woke up at
You still wanted to hang out.
Whatever. He did not go to bed. He went out to 6th Street, sold, and then came home for 2 hours and then went out again.
And sold all day.
And that whole time, I was home the whole time.
Excuses I could have made. I could have made so many fucking. I could have been like, I had to get AAA out here at 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning to fucking jump my truck. Like I had to do a lot of fucking effort to make it work. And like I met up with, Brought to You by Broadway, and God damn it, like it was just felt so good to like have such a powerful night into a powerful day, and kind of just like. We always talk about this baseline reset, and it's almost like I got to skip that. Owen always talks about like skipping that baseline reset when he stays up all night.
Yeah, what he's talking about is you work all day, you do great activities, you work out, you meditate, and you get to a higher state of consciousness, but then when you go to sleep, you wake up and you're back to normal.
You have a baseline.
So that happens if something terrible happens to you and you're in a terrible state, you wake up the next morning, you feel better, or the opposite.
If I had a great night, I'm still going to wake up in that baseline. So I almost got to skip that by working the next day.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and we've had this idea
that momentum kept going, Yeah,
we had this idea that like over the last few weeks, we've kind of been like, our sleeping patterns are kind of weird, and we're like working, sometimes I get really creative at like 3 o'clock in the morning and stuff, and I don't want to go to bed, and I've been working till like 7 and 8 before South by, and it's like, maybe the sleeping, I don't know, we're still playing with it and stuff like that, but maybe we don't need to have 7 nights of sleep. I don't know, maybe just kind of think of something like that. Maybe it's not necessary to have 7 nights of sleep. So I don't know. I kind of maybe.
No, that's a deep hole, man. That's the polyphasic shit. You start Googling that and you're gonna go down a rabbit hole. I never did it myself, but start looking at polyphasic. There's guys that try to sleep 20 minutes at a time. They do it like 4 times throughout the night and they say it works.
Throwing everything against the wall. I want to
try it. Go for it.
Especially when I'm having those nights of feeling so good. Like, I'm working in the truck and I don't want to go to sleep, but I'm just doing it because it's like, well, everybody else is asleep and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Do I go to sleep or do I start my day?
It's not like you have to be up anyway.
No. What's your next Griff Glass move? What are you doing?
Next move? Interesting.
Definitely some collab work with some guys in the local area. I'd like to start getting together with them and starting to watch some other artists work. And I think that'll help me perform better and like watching other artists' hands and stuff. And that's really important for to learn. And they have so much. Other things that I don't know about glass, like they can help me out with, and like there's just so many avenues that we can go down together, and so that's a big thing. So kind of getting together with them, and then also yours birthday I think is coming up.
Oh yeah,
sometime soon.
Peace Park.
Yeah,
cool.
And so
it's huge.
Just kind of preparing for stuff like that. I want to need to start looking into some more radio, coffee and beer, Austin Fleas, and they also do a lot of, they do other venues, so I'm going to be working with a few other kids. Game on the actual, like, streets is just more fun. There's just so many more interactions.
For setup, too?
Yeah, I don't care about $35 registration. That's cool and everything.
Still,
but
well, he's talking about jazz. He's talking about being spontaneous. Because at a flea market, you don't pull a girl in and go, "Hey, check out my glass." Yeah. He wants to be on the streets because that's the shit that happens.
Yeah.
Because it's not just glass. It's whatever happens. Whatever happens.
Yeah. So I'm out there like smoking with people. I'm out there like having fun with other people. I'm kind of having experiences with people. Like enjoying the night that's happening around them, and I get to get brought into it for a few moments.
And then the alcohol loops people up. They want to try more, maybe.
Yeah. And it's fun, man. Just the interactions that I have, like, man, it really drives me. It's awesome. It feels so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good.
You got nice eyes, too, man. I've been just looking at them.
Man.
You got beautiful brown eyes, man.
Thank you.
Beauties.
Yeah.
Beauties.
Kyle.
I'm not going to break the tension. You guys keep going.
So yeah, that's what Griff Glass is probably going to be. Is going to be doing some reading. I'd like to start with my lamp work. I realize that I don't want to read the same book as you motherfuckers. I don't care about the.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you start something you don't want to do?
Yeah, I want to. So I want to implement time to read because I have a lot of reading to do, but I want to read about the topics that I want to read.
Yeah, make it work.
Yeah.
Griff Glass. GriffGlass.com, motherfuckers.
I'll put that. I'll always put that.
So yeah, Kyle, what's up with
my last 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot to think about, right?
Yeah. We've had some ups and downs, man. There's been a lot of it's been good though.
Yeah, a lot of new stuff. Basically started and ended a relationship.
Really?
About a month long. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I heard a little bit, but not.
Yeah, she's a good girl. Yeah, basically hung out like once a week, and it was awesome. But then she says, "Are you dating anyone else?" I said, "Yep." And that was that. There's a little bit.
Cool fight.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a little bit more to it than that, but that kind of took me down. That ended Saturday.
Really?
Yeah. So there's that. That's like the most current thing that's in my brain, so that's why I mentioned it first.
Sure.
But other than that, like jiu-jitsu's been good. Working out, like, good. Like, fuck yeah.
You've been really consistent with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. And also Steve, I give you all the credit in the world. You're open to it, but we started lifting weights. And I've showing Steve the ropes to a powerlifting program, starting strength, has made me see it in a whole new light. And I'm so much more committed now to it. Because it's like before I was kind of going and fucking around a little bit, like kind of half-assing it.
Yeah.
But now with Steve, I'm telling him, I'm like, hey, you got to do this weight today. Next week you're doing more weight. And because I'm telling that to him, I can't be a hypocrite. I got to say, okay, I got to fucking do it too. Because, I reached kind of a plateau and I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing the same weights year in and year out. But it's like now I'm starting to see, like, I can fucking do it again. It's like, yeah, so powerlifting's going good, jiu-jitsu's good. The podcast.
Me to do,
get swollen.
Yeah, fuck yeah. The podcast to hit a little bit of a lull. I did do South by Southwest. I did a meditation thing outside a convention center, which was really cool.
Probably the coolest thing you've done.
It was.
I think it's one of the coolest things you've done.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'll show you that after or whatever. But that was cool. But it was also it was a pretty small effort. So I'm very happy to be filming this right now because now I'll be editing. Video editing is my shit. Even though it's not what I expected, getting better at it is addicting. Yeah. It's kind of like going into the tank in a good way. So that's cool. And then the Blues Doctor, we're going to record another podcast with him tomorrow, actually.
And jam with him, too.
Yeah, we're going to jam with him, too.
I'm excited to jam with him.
You got to meet this guy, actually. You would love the Blues Doctor.
Yeah?
He's the man.
Yeah.
He's the man. That's the best I can say about it.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen to the podcast, too, if you're interested. But he's awesome. Like, he really opens up, and...
He's a real dude.
He's a real dude. Yeah. So we got him on tomorrow, and then, that's a pretty good update for me. That's pretty much everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Solid. Jiu-jitsu, how many times a week are you doing it?
Probably about 3 or 4 on average.
Nice.
Probably 3 on most weeks, but...
You good with a relationship? You don't have anything else to...
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. I thought you wanted to go into something a little bit more. I don't know.
That was it. Okay, so it's more complicated than that, right? Because I kind of hinted something.
I've seen some of the emotions.
Yeah, you kind of.
Do you guys want? You're not asking me questions either.
But,
what do you want to know? Yeah.
I want to hear more. I'm gonna go to the bathroom first, though.
Yeah, go for it.
So we're talking about more deets about this relationship.
Okay,
thing.
so I figured out how I want to frame it. So I kind of hinted at it before. when I said I made a point about new people in your life providing new energy. And it's true. Because I think everybody in their lives, they establish people that give them the anchor, the base. You know, your family, your close friends, your long-term relationships, in my case. And then if you have new things coming in too, that's what really stirs things up and gets your brain working in new ways. And I gotta admit, in the last couple months, like since Steve's been here, dating has been a priority for me. And I'll get it back around to my long-term relationship, but the new energy brought by new women has been amazing. Like, it's absolutely fueled me in a way that probably nothing else has. And at the same time, so I had a mini depression here because I had a relationship with a girl, and I'll go more into that if you want, but I broke up with her on Saturday, so I had a mini depression. But it also helps me zoom out a little bit and see how much I love Sandra, my long-term relationship, my girlfriend. And it's very interesting because that's a benefit that I had not expected, because it's like, things come and go in your life, whatever. But then you have the ones that are there, and some things feel more urgent, right? If you have something like a new relationship or a new friendship, you're thinking about that more just because it's new. But if you zoom out a little bit, it's like you find out what's really important. So that's the hidden benefit that I wanted to mention as well. It's like, so you see that side of it. It's like, oh, is he what an asshole? He dates other girls. He's got a girlfriend. But it's like, it's really not like that. And I have tons more to talk about there. I don't know. I guess I need the right questions. But like, is there anything? Like, did I even explain anything?
No, I think it's good.
So one thing I'm interested in is more specifics on this recent relationship, the short-term relationship. So what drug you in? What were some difficulties in it? Or was it really just like cut and dry? Like, you had some dialogue at the end and then that was it.
Sure, yeah, I'll explain. So me and Steve were out on 6th Street. And we're doing what we're talking about, socially succeeding. It makes you feel amazing. And you remember too, we did this a little bit.
Yeah.
It makes you feel unlike anything else. Like when you're actually talking to new people and they're accepting you. It's that tribe feeling. It's like, and you feel like you're climbing the social ladder because real or imagined, you're having more interactions with more people. Anyway, we were doing that one night. It was a Thursday night. And I saw her upstairs, very attractive girl. Went up and talked to her, and a little bit later we decided we would like to hang out again. So met her at Clicks, the following Saturday or whatever. Had a great time. We really liked each other and started seeing each other. And it was like a once a week or twice a week thing, and it just kind of ran its course.
How long was it for? Mm-hmm. About a month.
About a month, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
About a month.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's like you described the short-term relationship. That's what it was. De facto, is that the right phrase? Like, that's what it was, but that's not what it had to be, because any new relationship could be anything. That's the way I'm treating it. Mm-hmm. That could have been another long-term relationship. That's like, here's another point that I really want to make clear. It's like, people look at relationships in a different way than friendships, and I don't know why. Because my friendship with you does not take away my friendship with Steve.
True.
My friendship with Steve does not take away my friendship with Dave. And it actually makes it stronger. It really does make it stronger in a way. And that's the same fucking thing here. So anyway, she could have been another long-term girl, but she's not that kind, because she asked the question. We had 4 weeks where, there's really neither of us has any obligation to each other. Mm-hmm. We just met, we're seeing if we like each other. But she got to the point in her mind where she's like, okay, I want a relationship with you. Are you seeing anyone else? And I made a promise with myself. Whenever I'm asked that question, I'm always going to tell the truth. I made a promise with myself. That's very important to me.
Yeah.
And I told the truth. I said yes. And then she said, okay, well, I did not know that. I'm not. So you can make a decision. She goes, if it's me, it's me. If it's not me, it's not me. So I pretty much knew already what I was going to do. But I saw her a couple days later, and that was that. Like, sorry, but that's that. So, and I want to make this clear too, it was like not like you can call it a casual thing because it's a casual thing, but it's like that was also a relationship. I got to know her, like
I got to know her. You brought her into my life too, like,
yeah,
it's cool, like,
yeah,
we went out and had dinners and like,
yeah,
kind of accepted everybody and kind of was really cool. I had a lot of cool times too.
And while I'm ranting, I'm going to stop in very, very shortly, but the point is, and people, this is something you've come around to too. People say, okay, well, you had a relationship for a month. A lot of people would say that's a failure because it didn't last. And what does that mean? What does that mean? It lasts until death or it's a failure. It was a period of time in which I had fun.
She had fun.
She had fun. And, maybe there was like a small negative here or there, but the vast positive for me anyway was positive. I hope it was for her too. You probably would say it was.
I benefited.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's that's pretty much what happened. So that's why I brought it up.
But
it does.
Every one of those, everybody that we meet, every single person that we meet can provide a month of happiness. Even if it's just if it's a friend that I'm gonna blow glass with, or if it's gonna be a girl that I'm hanging out with, even if it's a month, even if it's, and then if it turns into 9 weeks, if it turns into whatever, it doesn't matter. Everybody has something to offer somebody else, an experience to offer somebody else, learn life lessons.
And it's diversifying your portfolio of life, because if you've only got weightlifting and you've got nothing else in your life, you derive all of your value and happiness from weightlifting. People do the same thing with relationships. If you only got one friend, then you're getting all. But if you diversify, then everything becomes stronger because you're stronger.
Friend. I have a cheese friend. I have all these connections that can further my connections to other people and make deeper webs and deeper connections.
Yeah.
And it's just, and bringing, we're going to go to sushi Saturday and we're going to invite everybody that we know. I think that was the point of sushi, is to kind of get every connection that we have right now together to just kind of unite everybody and just
I'm trying to go from basically a recluse to a social person. Mm-hmm. I was not a social person before. If I was going to sushi, I would actually think to myself, this is honest, and this is honest, I'm sure you guys feel the same way. I would say, do I want to invite Dave and Diana? Is that actually good, or do I just want to be with Sandra in my own little bubble?
Yeah, and not.
That's the feeling. That's the real feeling, and I don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
I want to be a social person, and being a social person is letting other people into your life. It's saying, I can fear other people, or I can be excited about them.
Yeah.
And it's making a choice to be excited, and maybe
it's going out at night, or it's staying in the
box.
box.
You get hurt in small ways, you take small risks, but you also open yourself up to a deeper, richer experience.
Many deeper, richer experiences. Yeah. And we were just seeing that with just the small amount of time that we've kind of had this idea of doing this. We've seen so many unbelievably positive signs or whatever, so I just said, hey, let's step out of how I would normally handle this situation and just kind of put my foot on the gas and just try to be a little bit more confident and kind of have that personality that, I kind of want to have, but it's hard to have,
Yeah.
And that foot on the gas that we always talk about, so hard to have. And, so just did that, and pretty successful results.
Nice.
We're, back laying in our bed, having sex, and, by the end of the night, so.
Sweet.
Cool.
So what he's talking about too, when he's talking about acting the way I want, that's the difference. Because most guys who haven't had any experience and haven't given themselves any experience, they haven't given themselves a chance.
Don't even think you're capable.
They're sitting next to her the same way you would have been, and hoping that she does something, hoping that some sign from the universe opens up and opens her legs.
I'm in Denver, and I'm on the train in the light rail, and I'm like, I'll just position myself over here, because then maybe she'll, that's the only hot girl on the train? All right, I'm going to sit right there.
But now Steve's going, fuck it.
I'm like, fuck, I'm going to put myself right here.
Hello.
How are you? I'm Steve, what's up? What are you doing today? What's going on?
That was what the whole 6th Street experiment was about.
Yep.
And,
injecting yourself into situations.
And it works.
Unbelievably positive.
Unequivocally works. It just works.
I feel like a fucking man. It's cool, man.
Everybody should be doing this, man or woman, in your own way.
I feel so goddamn
talking to new people.
It comes out in everything else I do. Dude, it literally comes out in fucking Griff Glass. It comes out when I'm selling. It comes out when I'm speaking with my parents, when I'm speaking with Kyle, when I'm speaking with the Blues Doctor, when I'm speaking with the police officers. It comes out in everything, man. I just portray, I ooze like a different person, and it's like
you're oozing something, all right.
It's fucking yeah. And it's just addicting, man. It really is. You almost forget it sometimes, but it's extremely addicting when it's there.
Feeling good is addicting. It feels good,
It's amazing.
And that's why you find the things that make you feel good, and you got to be honest with yourself about them. But it's not. This is the flip side of it. It has to be said, because it hasn't been said. It is not easy. If it was easy, we would do it every single night, but we don't. And a lot of nights we find ourselves making excuses. One of us will cave first. One of us will be like, well, I think I'm going to work a lot on turkey tonight. Or, I think I'm going to blow glass. And then the other one kind of goes, I don't want to either. It's like, it's cold tonight. Maybe we can do it Thursday night. It's fucking hard. It's the hardest thing in the world.
Yeah. That's...
Dogs.
No, they're good.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's just the constant struggle. It will always be a struggle in some form or another. I don't think anybody is ever perfect at that thing.
But
there
the
are
more
always
that you do
small
it-
battles. But yeah, the more you have victories in those small battles, the easier it is.
It's actually about the struggle. It's because it's so hard. It's like becoming a man is basically trying to go through the hardest struggles you can. Like if you think about a guy who's like a soft guy, it's a guy who hasn't been exposed to any challenges.
True.
Like a real guy is somebody who's been through it, right? Like when you think about 300 or, like a guy who's been through wars, like a general, So that's maybe it's not even the act of game, it's the act of putting yourself in harsh situations. So you could do it through comedy too. You could do it through jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Different paths to mastery, as they call it. Just paths through the
Just
fire.
making sure that you're actually doing
Through the
action
fucking fire.
versus,
Yeah.
the thought of action. The thought of action is not actual action.
No. Rumination. It's taking yourself away from it.
So yeah, that's been kind of
It's the untalked about thing that's kind of propelling us forward.
unbelievably.
Yeah, but you knew of it at least a little bit.
You guys playing the 6th Street game?
The game, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The results are real, man. We're kissing girls on 6th Street, we're implementing strategies to push each other beyond what we like. I want Kyle to succeed. I want him to feel that energy and he wants me to feel that. And it's like we feel that when we're together on 6th Street, just pushing each other to go get her now. Go talk to her right now. Go. Why aren't you talking to her, dude? Really? Beautiful girl. Why haven't you talked to her?
Which one moment from the other night was when me and Steve separated briefly because he went to talk to a girl, and then we reconnected in line. He was talking to this beautiful blonde girl, and I had 2 brunettes. And we're like, oh, hey, this is Steve. And they're like, you guys know each other?
And we're like, yeah. I told the guy we're on the VIP list, and she's like, wait, you actually are on the VIP list? How do you know everybody? And it just like...
That's pretty sweet.
Dude, and it's just, man, it's powerful stuff, man. And it's just, it's not faking it. It's really feeling confident with yourself, and that they see that and they understand that and they want that.
Because nobody's doing it.
Nobody else is doing that.
Confidence.
So, and most guys are nervous wrecks around them.
Well, we are too.
Yeah, we are too.
But just giving it a shot is putting us above 99.9.
Sure.
Yeah, just giving it a goddamn shot. And you also realize that you don't appear as nervous as you actually are. That's another thing too. You know what I mean? Because we'll record for Boardwalk Cast or like Meditation Cast. So I can actually see my interactions with people. And I'll stumble over a word, same as comedy. You stumble over a word and in my head anyway, it's like, oh my God, I fucking suck. But then on camera, it's like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of the times in social situations, like have you ever felt at a party, you feel inadequate, you're like, oh, I don't feel like I belong here, I can't talk to anybody. But everybody else is feeling the exact same thing, and when they look at you, they don't see that, that monologue. It's just an interesting exercise.
I think that's all we're trying to do too, is get out of our heads more. And I think this has like been a massive point of what we're trying to accomplish when we're out on 6th Street, is stop fucking thinking about talking to girls. Stop thinking about talking to girls.
Do what you want.
Just
Yes.
Say whatever. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. If you have a passion in your voice and like a light in your eyes, like they're gonna fucking listen and they're gonna love it. Just be. Don't think so much. Fuck.
The very same thing does happen with comedy, and we talked about
everything. It's the same in everything.
People are in their own zone. So like go up there, do whatever you're going to do, whether it's talking to a girl or doing a stand-up set. Chances are, whoever is going to be impacted by it, you'll get some feedback from it. But everybody else, they're just doing their own
Here's the other
thing.
thing too. It's all about getting to that flow state, because we've all got those thoughts holding us back. But if you can get rid of a lot of them, you can get into the flow state, and some people achieve it more than others. But people respect when other people get into that flow state, and they love it, they encourage it. So when you're getting closer to that, and when you can stop thinking and actually do the damn thing, people accept it. And that's why it works in comedy, it works on 6th Street, it works in selling, no matter what. If you can get out of your own way, if you just give yourself to the process and you say, I'm gonna do it, and you actually do that, then you actually lose yourself, your ego, right? Your thoughts. You're like, all that bullshit. It's like, I can't do this, they don't like me. They all melt away, and then you're just in it. And that's when people, they respond to that. Everybody wants that, And
we're seeing that firsthand, man. We're seeing that when the yoga cast, or the downtown cast, I sold nothing that day. I got it in my head and just fucking, and then, so I see the bad, and then I see Saturday night where I got out of myself completely and just fucking pushed myself beyond whatever and didn't even know what was going on. I didn't know how much money I made or anything, and then boom, successful. Like,
and it's the same as comedy. It's the same as sports. Same as anything. Yeah, it's ups and downs. It's like this pattern follows every journey in life follows the same pattern. There's the highs and the lows, and you just have to put your head down and go through it. Make the decision and not quit, because that's what I've done my whole life in game, in comedy, everything. I've quit after 6 months or 2 months.
Paths are still open though, dude.
The paths are still open, right? You never really quit. Yeah, that's true. You never really.
And that's
quit.
why I don't burn any of the.
That's a good point. That's an
the
excellent
cheese
point.
friends, the the glassblower friends. Don't burn any bridges because they're all fucking webbed together at some point. You know?
Yeah.
If it's 10 years from now, I started to talk to people that I haven't talked to in years. Like, you know, a lot of new people have come in and just like, it's cool. I didn't burn any of those bridges, so now we can still have those discussions, and they can still become a part of my life as much as I want them to. You know, it doesn't really. It's cool. It's really it's powerful stuff to see in action. It really is. It's cool. It's awesome.
It's very powerful.
So let's check. Everything's still. We have 10 minutes left on that guy. Any other things you guys want to kind of go over? We've already kind of talked about goals for next time.
Did we actually nail them down? We didn't.
So what is it? Book? Like we just read something for half an hour a day, every day?
If that's what you really think is going to help you. Like,
I think it will help me with my glass, so I want to dedicate time to it. So I don't know if it will. I'm going to throw everything. I'm throwing shit against the wall, so I'm going to do
What time? Give me a time so I can check up on you. That's not my thing, but I'm going to make sure.
Cool. Yeah, I want to dedicate...
Does it matter, or are you just going to tell me when it happens?
Yeah, probably just about a half an hour to 30 to an hour of just reading.
Make it a minimum of 30 then.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Minimum of 30.
30. So. And I want to do that until the next Self-Help Yourself. Let's hopefully not wait 3 weeks to fucking try to film another one.
Sure.
I know it's all of our fault.
Yeah.
So,
Not my fault. Anytime. Anyway. Anytime's fine. Anytime.
For me, I would like to do a combination, not a combination, just two things. So I want to do the 30 minutes to an hour, I like that time frame, of writing every day, and then 30 minutes to an hour of actual studying for that CCP thing.
Cool.
Every day.
Every day.
So minimum 30 minutes for both of those.
So about
So
an
you're
hour,
basically committing
an hour to
an
2
hour
hours.
to 2 hours of that work.
You're handicapping yourself. You realize that, Steve.
I understand that. Yeah.
Me?
Yours is 30 minutes. His is an hour. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
But I guess it depends on the difficulty of that task anyway.
Yeah.
And I was going to do the
Reading's
same thing.
hard for me.
Mine's going to be meditation this time, because I think that is very, like, I'm pretty good, but I can miss it, and I don't want to miss it. I'm done with missing it. So mine's a morning and an evening session, 20 minutes minimum, both times.
Yeah.
Morning
I'm going to jump
and
on,
evening.
I'll throw $20 in if I can't complete one of those with you. So.
Whoa, okay, so let's actually
That
put
makes
this
it
on
that
paper.
way.
Yeah, what are we
Yeah.
putting here?
Well, I just want to hold myself accountable. I want to at least take part in 20 minutes of meditation a day for the next...
Okay, so we got Dave, you got 30-minute writing, right? 30-minute writing and 30-minute study.
Yeah.
And this is every day,
Every day.
per day, until the next self-help.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't fucking do it, admit it, alright, motherfucker?
Dude, fuck you. I did my task.
No standing in the shower studying, alright, motherfucker?
I'm not gonna stand in the shower studying.
You
I did
can't
my
study
task.
while you fuck your fiance,
Alright, come on.
I did my task. That's why my 20 is not on the table.
And then you're talking about what? Either one doesn't matter, or
No, I'm doing both.
You're doing both with me.
Yeah. No. I meant
said
one
once a week.
meditation and reading a day.
which meditation does it matter?
Doesn't matter as long as I do
You
one
need to do
20
one
minute.
of them.
Oh.
Okay.
So it's whether it's in the morning if I choose to. I'm going to start.
But you're saying that you're with me for that, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those sessions with you.
Okay.
So if I haven't done it by the nighttime, I have to do the night session with you.
And then I'm just holding myself to the 220.
And if you're holding yourself to the 220, just make sure you hit the gong bong before you.
Sure.
Let me know.
Of course. Yeah, that's what the gong is for, actually.
For a bong
It's
set?
called the bong gong, but we also do it for meditation.
It's a beautiful meditation.
Yeah, we just strike
Let's
it
really
once
bring it in here, yeah.
for the viewers. Where's the?
You just use a knife, I guess, right?
You could. Oh no, here it is.
I feel like I don't want to just ring it without kind of taking part.
Sure.
What needs to take part.
Yeah. So we got our goals. We kind of did recaps. Is there anything else on your mind that you need to get out into the open?
I do have to say, I'm excited about this Buddhist whatever thing.
Oh, you're going to it for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Appamada. Yeah, we're going to meditation again at Appamada Buddhism Center. Yep.
I was not every other time that we've talked about it, like I've mentioned, like, hey, you want to do comedy, and then you say you're doing this, I'm like, I just don't care. So, but now I'm interested.
It's very odd that you are now interested on the back of 3 weeks of meditating and not liking it at all.
I think it's more of like my schedule is clear and
Is that what it
I'm
is?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No showers, huh?
Yeah, interesting.
What do you mean showers?
I don't know if they have a shower at Apamata.
Yeah, I'm sure you're able to meditate there, man.
I'll make a shower.
All right, I'm good with that.
Well, no, I had a few more things.
Okay, yeah. Why you so coffee, Steve?
Excuse me. I would like to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can as a good roommate. So I'd like to speak about if there's anything that I can do
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about that.
to kind of help you out in your daily. You help me out a lot, and I need to step back and appreciate that because Kyle does motivate me to pretty much do a lot of things. So he's always making sure I get my fruits and vegetables.
Oh yeah, Kyle's basically.
It's actually true.
You're Steve's father now.
I kind of am. I wake him up in the morning. I wake him up every single morning.
Well, there's a shake. There's a very loud device in our house that goes off every morning when Kyle wants his shake. And,
This morning I just yelled Ohio State baby.
Yeah, no, that's
because actually we lift before we eat, so that's not even true a lot of days.
Yeah.
On Ohio State baby days.
So, but I just want to thank Kyle, and I want to make sure that if there's anything that I do bring things to the table, but if there's anything else I can bring to the table.
Yeah, no, you're right, man, and that's cool. I appreciate you bringing it up. I mean, it makes me remember because you do bring a lot to the table. You help a lot with this shit, and also the jiu-jitsu tournament. Like you really show a lot of value there. And I can forget about that. So, but no, you help a lot. I was saying, so I always wake up. I'm always the guy to wake up because it doesn't matter if I wake up at 4, he's still gonna be in bed, and like I need a little energy too. So I'm always doing that. Mm-hmm. But if you don't want to wake up earlier, then I can't ask for help there.
Yeah, and what we briefly spoke about it earlier, but I'd like to kind of at least try a few days to kind of be that motivating factor to get you out of bed because I know it sucks.
So how about we maybe pick days? Maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm the wake up dude.
Yeah, it's so
Tuesday, Thursday, you're the wake up dude, or vice versa.
Yeah. Just what happens on those days that I do work until like 4. That's what sucks, It's hard to predict that.
It'll be known.
That's kind of like an excuse.
No, it'll be known. Yeah, you just message me, Facebook message me or whatever, and be like, I work till 6, and I'm like, okay.
That doesn't happen every time, that. But when it does, I don't want to kind of stop the night early, and yeah. But I do. Okay, that's cool. I'm down with that. I can try to help out with that as much as I can.
Cool. Yeah. So we're good. That's good. We're got a couple new things here.
Yeah. And Dave, what I want from you is I want your poison drip list for next week.
Oh yeah, I'll make one. 5.
5 of what you think is.
That's good.
Your biggest concerns in life that
take more than they give.
That take more than they give.
Yeah.
So that's the.
You feel free to write question marks after them too, because I had a couple I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I think that's some cool homework. If you guys want to write your poison drips in the comments.
Yeah. What activities or relationships are taking more from you than they're giving you?
Yeah. Top 5.
Top 5. We'll see if there's any interesting, and then we'll mention them on the podcast next.
Yeah, the best one will.
The top best 5. Don't have one really good one, and then the rest are like food. Money.
Well, the thing is I guess nobody's gonna comment anyway. There's not gonna be a single comment, so it doesn't matter. It's a moot point.
But to be completely honest, these are probably concerns of every single person.
Yeah, so we're looking for a unique one and an honest one, a very honest one. Like for me to say porn is pretty, that's me putting myself out there. I'm like, it's
cool. And then we'll do this again hopefully soon.
Sure.
Yep.
See you later, guys.
Bye.